Good morning again, students. So here we are back for the second part of the lesson, and this part of the lesson is matching an exponential function. All right, this part of the lesson is matching an exponential function and graph. So what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to either look at the graph and figure what the equation, the function is, or you look at the function and figure out what the graph is. So as you can see on slide number 7, all right, as you can see on slide number 7, it gives us a breakdown of pretty much everything that's going to happen. It says the graph of an exponential function with the equation y is equals to a b to the x plus c has the following properties. It has an asymptote of y is equal to c. What do I mean by that? Y is equal to c, which is right here. So whether this is positive or negative, all right? It says the graph lies above the asymptote if a is greater than 0. A greater than 0. It lies below the asymptote if a is less than 0. All right? A is less than 0. It approaches the asymptote as it increases if b is greater than 0 but less than 1, or it decreases if b is greater than 1. So let's look at a couple examples and see what they're talking about. So the first thing here, I'm going to keep this close because we're going to refer to it. So by looking at this graph here, it has an asymptote, which is this broken line right here. All right, it has an asymptote of, this is 5, so that means this is 6. So it has an asymptote of positive 6. So let's look at what we have here. So we have positive 6, we have y equals positive 6. So we have positive 6 and positive 6. So we have negative 3, that means this can go. And we have positive 3, that means that can go as well. All right, so let's look back at the second thing. The graph, as you can see here, it's above the asymptote, right? It's above the asymptote. That means a, since it's above, it lies above if the asymptote, it lies above the asymptote if a is greater than 0. So that means a in this equation here has to be greater than 0 for it to rise. So let's check here. A, remember, you got to be in this form right here, y equals x, ab to the x plus c. So here, a here is negative, but since it's above it, we wanted a to be greater than 0. So a greater than 0 would be this equation. So the answer would be this one. All right, so we would also put an x through this one. We would not select that one. This is the one that we would select. All right, so again, let's look at another example. So here, first thing we're going to look at, as you can see here, is the horizontal asymptote. Y is equals to c. So y is equals to c. So let's look at the one we have here. Y is equals to c. That means y is equals to positive 5. All right. So let's look at our asymptote. It has to be positive 5. This is negative 5. So that means I can go ahead and put an x through that. Right? And this is negative 5. That means I can put an x through that as well. So now it says, so we have a here, which is negative 4, is less than, so a is less than 0. So if a is less than 0, that means it falls below the asymptote. So here, since a is less than 0, it has to fall below. So that means this graph right here would be my answer. All right, and I can go ahead and put an x through that graph as well. All right, let's look at another example. All right, and it should be getting easier for you now. So here, what is my asymptote? This is y is equals to positive 4. So y is equals to positive 4, so that means I can do what? I can automatically get rid of these two. All right, now the graph falls below the asymptote. This is the line and it falls below. So if it falls below, a has to be less than 0. Which one of these is a less than 0? A less than 0, so boom, that's my answer. I can put an x through this one as well. All right, good job. So let's go ahead and let's look at one more example. So here, what is my asymptote, my horizontal asymptote? This is y is equals to negative 1, 2, right? Y is equals to negative 2. So guess what? I can x that out. I can x that out. I can also go ahead and x this out. So this one was an easy one because what? It's less than, and we can check because a is greater than 0. So if a is greater than 0 here, that means it's above the asymptote. So that would be my answer. All right. So let's go ahead and look at two more before I let you guys do some on your own. All right. And again, as you can see, this is nothing crazy. So here we have y is equals to -3. So let's look for all the -3. So we got -3, -3. This is +3. So we can x that out. This is +3. Now here, what we realize, we have a b here. That means a is an understood one. Is a greater than 0? Yes, a is greater than 0, right? So a is greater than 0, so that means it cannot be below. But let's go ahead and look at the b part. It says it approaches the asymptote if x is between 0 and 1. It's decreasing. It's decreasing, right? So as x decreases, if b is greater than 1. So my answer here, I know, is this is a no. So this is my answer. All right. So let's look at the last one. All right. So we have y equals, again, it's +5. All right. So I can get rid of the negatives. Negatives go. All right. Now let's look at what we have here. A, this is the understood -1 right here. So a is -1, and that means a is what? A is less than 0 because it's -1. So if it's less than 0, that means it has to fall where? Below the asymptote. So that is my answer, and I can go ahead and X that one. All right. So pretty much, guys, that's what it is for the lesson. Again, go ahead and do your IXL. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. See you guys soon.